Hi, I'm Joy from the Quilting Bee, and today I'd like to show you on your long arm what happens if you break a thread and how to restart without even being able to see where you restarted. The most important thing I have to tell you is to not move your machine and do not bump the frame, because if you do that, it throws the design off and it won't line up properly. So my thread broke right here, and but my needle is way over here. So what I need to do first is to rethread my machine. And I'm not touching anything, I'm not moving anything. Now that my machine is ready, when you go up here to the screen, this is what you're going to see. So the first thing you want to do is press cancel, and then we're going to go to Prostitcher. We're going to go to New Start End, and I want to come over here to the right side of your screen, and I want to press Auto. Now don't press it so much that you move the machine or anything, because that's very important not to move that machine. So what we want to do is we want to, this is where my crosshairs is, so this is where my needle is. My thread broke way back here. Let me make this screen a little bit bigger so we can see that. My thread broke way back here. So what I need to do, these arrows down here will take you backwards or forwards really fast. These two arrows take you backwards or forwards slower. So I'm going to use my backwards arrow, and I'm going to go fairly quickly because I know about where I need to be. That's probably a little bit higher than what I need to be. We do want to make sure that we cross over our stitches so that there's no holes and our stitches are locked. So now that my needle, my crosshairs is right where I need the machine to start, I'm going to go to Quilt. I'm going to go to Run. And when I press Proceed, my machine is going to move over to here where my machine stops stitching. Right there. It's going to take one stitch. Remember, do not move the machine by itself. Let the machine move its own self. So my thread is on top of my foot. So I'm going to take my scissors or a screwdriver, and I'm going to bring those threads both underneath my foot. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press Resume, and it's going to do my locking stitches, and then it's going to start, and it's going to finish that pattern. And I can come back in here and I can cut my thread here. And I'm going to let it stitch a little bit, and then I'm going to show you how you really can't even see where you started your machine, where you restarted. Right here was where my thread broke. You really cannot see where that starts, where you broke your thread. Remember that you're not ever going to be stitching on a black, probably a solid black background, but you can't even see where we started. So that's how I restart when my thread breaks. So I don't ever worry that I'm going to run out of bobbin thread, because you're going to do the same thing if your bobbin thread runs out. Just make sure you do not move the machine. That is the most important thing, and don't knock the machine, because if you do, it's going to throw this pattern off and it won't line up again. So I hope this helps to take away some of that fear of your thread breaking, but give this a try and see how that works for you. It may take you a time or two to really get comfortable with it, but I think this is a fabulous way to restart your quilt once that thread has broken.